Hey guys, what is up? It's your boy Esther bringing you guys another banger of a video. And in today's video, we have to talk about multiple snowstorms coming to the US, including a blizzard going on right now. We also have the chance for an I-95 corridor snowstorm next week, along with the ice storm also possible. Possible next week. So without further ado, let's get started. But before we do get started, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. It is at an ugly red color. Make it that gray color. And also subscribe with notifications on so that you guys never miss a video about a snowstorm and anything weather related. So without further ado, let's get started with covering that blizzard in the Chicago area. So here we are looking at South Bend, and as we can see, we do have this blizzard going on right now. Many places getting 8 to 14 inches of snow, if not more. We can see this rain snow line has held pretty strong. It has even gone farther south, which is a sign that some cold air is rushing on the backside of the storm. Let's move this over to by Chicago. As we can see, Chicago's getting slammed by some heavy snow. Milwaukee is also getting slammed. Everywhere around this region is getting slammed. We can see Grand Rapids having multiple bands of heavy snow coming their way. Another key factor with the storm will be lake effect snow after the storm. Buffalo is expecting a major amount of snow from the lake effect, although it's not supposed to be as strong as the 2022 storm. It could still be something. We do also have a snow squall warning in Wyoming, so make sure you guys watch out for that if you are in the Snowfall warning. Snow squalls can cause whiteout conditions within a matter of seconds, and also can provide some short time accumulating snow. Alright, so now let's get started with the real fun stuff. Let's get started with the models. So here we are looking at the US. Here's Buffalo right here, 33 inches of snow. And we gotta talk about a bunch of things, so let's just get right into it. So if we look at the continental US, we're gonna change this to precipitation. Change this to forecast loop. We can see we do have this blizzard going on, bringing heavy snow on the front side. That is all eventually going to be washed out by rain, as we can see here. When we move this along as the storm moves north, rain snow line also moves north. Rain will take over all the snow, unless you're in Maine. So here's where it gets interesting. Maine, it is looking like a bunch of snow coming for you guys. As we can see, we have some white in that heavy pocket. That's about 3 to 4 inches per hour rate, so that's going to be a whole lot. Let me move me real quick so you can see that. So that could provide some quick accumulating storm. So that storm's happening right now. There are a lot of people live streaming it. If you want to see it in action, I'm sure you could search on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook Live and search up Chicago Blizzard, and there will be people live streaming it. So that's the first storm. That brings down a rush of cold air into the northeast. And then we have the second storm impacting the west coast that is going to move east. Storm kind of dissipates for a bit, and then after it dissipates, kind of reforms. But when it reaches the Appalachian Mountains, it kind of dies off and doesn't really ride up the coast like models have been showing. Now, a lot of people have been saying, well, models have been showing 10 to 12 inches of snow for Philadelphia, New York City, parts of New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, New York. What's happening? Well, this storm is all dependent on the western, or not western, upper snowstorm or snowstorm energy, kind of. So once we get some tonight, once the cold air reaches here, this storm should start to even out in tracks. Every model has a different solution. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So the GFS model for the second straight run has it riding up the coast and not really amounting to anything because it dies off here in the Grand Rapids area because the storms here, it dies off in the Appalachian Mountains, and when we move this along, it just goes out to sea. Doesn't really amount to anything. And then we do have this backside end that still doesn't really amount to anything. And then we do have another storm that we have to watch out for. This is in the time period of the 19th, 20th, 21st. This storm is another storm that models have been changing the solution. So there are back-to-back storms that we have to watch out for the eastern part of the US, and then also for the mid-Atlantic portion, and also Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. We have to watch out for those reasons. So now we're going to take a look at the GEFS. So that's the Global Ensemble Forecast System, and that's the GFS, Global Forecasting Systems Ensemble Maneuver. So if we look at the GEFS, we can see it isn't agreeing. Hold on, let me just refresh it real quick, because these are brand new runs, so if I refresh, I'm trying to get newer data out of it. So when the ensemble of a model isn't agreeing with the operational, it signals that something isn't right. So if we take a look at the overview of the US, we can see when the storm forms, we can see it rides up, but it's putting more precipitation on shore. If we look at the mean snowfall accumulation, it's showing about an inch for these regions. So it is agreeing somewhat, but I don't believe that that's how it's going to play out. The patterns just, it doesn't seem like that. Let's look at the so there's that first storm, backside snow, only for coastal regions. Then here's that second storm that again is doing this weird thing of just riding off the coast. I think that this storm could also ride up the coast instead of riding off to sea. If we look at the Canadian model, the Canadian model is so different. So it has this storm, and then it has this, but this doesn't have it dying in the Appalachians. Therefore, this allows it to ride up the coast and provide crazy amounts of snow. If we look at the snowfall totals of this, we can see widespread 10 inches, if not more. So therefore, this we can see is showing it. Now there is another model showing it, which is the icon model, but the icon model is iconic for being wrong. So we can't really trust it, but it's showing it being a more interior storm, which I also still do not believe. If we look at the Canadian model ensemble, which is the CMCE, and we look at winter weather, let's do 24-hour snowfall mean. So you can just move this along. We can see it's not agreeing with the Canadian model. Probability of 4+ inches. Remember how it had a whole bunch of snow in this region? Even like this. Actually, let me undo this. Had a whole bunch of snow in this region. Well, now let's look at this. If we move this along, this is 4+ inches. We can see the chances of 4+ inches in Philadelphia, 30%. New York City, 14%, 10%. Like, it's not really lining up with what the operational model had. And that's an issue because then we can't really forecast it because it's just changing. So that's the problem with forecasting this storm. Yes, it's 4 days out. Yes, weather apps are saying 6 to 10 inches of snow. Yes, they're saying 1 to 3 inches of snow. They're changing so much because the models are changing so much. So we can't really tell and look at this storm without knowing its initial track, because models have it going different ways. Let's look at the European, for example. 6-hour snowfall. We can see it has it doing the same thing that the GFS had it doing. If I go to total snowfall, move this along. Again, the region circled is where the Canadian model had it. Alright, so, that's the second storm though. After the first storm passes, only up here gets snow. All this is leftover snow from the blizzard moving through. This 3-4 inches max. And then it has the second storm providing a lot of snow for these regions. So let's take a look at that second storm. Even though it is now 1 week out, we still should be able to see. Let me look at it real quick. So there's the first storm again, just rides off to sea. And here's the second storm, rides up the coast. So models are changing so often that we can't really put a set in stone forecast. Once models start agreeing, which should be tomorrow morning, and if it's not, this storm could be a bust. For some regions, it could just not accumulate to anything. If the storm continues with the going off the coast trend, we might have to call this one of the greatest busts in the history of snowstorms, because models are showing for days inches of snow for the I-95 corridor. So it got people like me who want to be meteorologists excited, because I-95 is kind of like the bow zone. So when they're getting snow, it's often heavy snow. So models are changing so often. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. I will be posting YouTube shorts that have updates. I do not want to post multiple long videos in one day. So I'll be posting YouTube shorts that have updates. And then also I will be live streaming the blizzard in Chicago. I'll start that in a few minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys subscribe. Share the video with anybody who could be impacted by these 3 storms, as this is some crucial information that some people might not have the access to. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.